For those who might not know, what's a brief explanation of management consulting?
Oh, yeah, great question. So what we do is we go in and evaluate organizations. Oftentimes we'll be presented with a problem. We'll do an exhaustive root cause analysis to understand what are the root problems, so that we're not solving the symptoms. We're actually getting to the root of the problems. We do a lot of data collection, so we're nerds. But we're inquisitive nerds. So we're constantly trying to think through how to solve different things. We apply frameworks that have, to be efficient, as well as to be effective in going in and helping an organization drive long-term change. And oftentimes we'll roll up our sleeves and we'll work alongside the client to build internal capacity in affecting this type of change and really driving outcomes.
What are your mission and vision statements?
Yeah. So Cicero is a purpose-driven management consulting firm with maniacal focus on people and impact. That's been our focus from day one, 21 years ago. Today, about 50% of our work is in the social sector. So helping K through 12 education to employment, social challenges like recidivism, homelessness, intergenerational poverty, and things like that. And the other 50% of our work is in corporate management consulting. So working with for-profit organizations, and frankly, doing both really, it keeps our tools sharp, and it allows us to say, we've seen this in this industry, let's be innovative and see how it applies to that industry.
Are there any statistics you'd like us to include, such as earnings, results, or rankings?
Yeah, no, great question. So Cicero is for the last 3 years has been ranked one of the top 10 boutique consulting firms in the world. So that would be 1,000 and fewer employees. We're ranked one of the 5 best consulting firms globally to work for, and we're in the top 50 overall consulting firms in terms of performance and outcomes.
Why did you make the choice to implement satellite offices?
It's an approach used by most management consulting firms. You get to a point of where the clients actually want you on site. Your relationships, your new business development is established by being, in the local chambers of commerce and on the local organizational boards and things like that. And so having our hub be in Salt Lake City gives us access to extraordinary talent. We've got a great airport that gives us access to any location around the world. It also, one of the advantages of Salt Lake City is multilingual. A lot of individuals that we recruit have spent time overseas and speak more than one language, and frankly, what's there not to love about Salt Lake City with the outdoors and frankly the people? But so we have a hub and spoke type approach with satellite offices around the country. We have one overseas, and it helps accelerate business development. It helps us recruit individuals that want to stay in those particular locations, and it also limits the amount of travel that our consultants are doing.
What was the change management process when implementing the expansion?
Yeah, no, this is a great question. I'm going to answer it in 2 ways. You're asking about change management within Cicero, but understand that about 25% of Cicero's work is doing change management for other very large organizations, John Cotter said, didn't he, or someone like that said, culture eats strategy for lunch. You can implement, you can propose the smartest, most effective strategy, but if you can't implement it effectively, it's all for naught. So implementation, operational excellence, transformation, all terms that navigate towards, outcomes. They take time. They always take a lot more time than you expect.
Did you use any frameworks or models to analyze or plan your expansion process?
Great question regarding the frameworks. Absolutely. You think of, what is it, Cotter's 8 steps. I grabbed a slide. It's probably too small for you to see, but I'm happy to give it to you. But it's a process from planning to execution to sustaining in order to have maximum impact. This is the framework that we use for change management. Again, the framework matters, but the people matter more. And if you want to drive sustained change, you need to understand the motivations and the capacities of those with whom you're working. And sometimes there's augmentation of those capacities. Sometimes there's providing them additional support. Sometimes it's creating systems and organizational design that propel their success. Always, really effective communication is required. Time and patience are required, and incentive. And incentive, from what you measure to what you praise. To how you, how you're monetarily and emotionally incenting people for the effort that they're putting into it.